brainwashed zealots. This is Joshua the Heretic coming at you today. Oh, sorry. Coming at you today. Okay. Hi. I was just coming up to you because there's this short little ditty I had in my head. When it comes to idolatry. When you dwell, whatever you dwell on is what you worship. And now the problem is, in the Old Testament, they use a lot of terms about worship. Worshiping this and worshiping that, and you can worship your boss, you can worship your master, you can worship God, you can worship Jesus Christ, and they all got really confusing because to worship just means to bow down before. Okay, and you can bow down to a king, you can bow down to your master, you can bow down to Jesus Christ, you can bow down to God, you can bow down to pretty much anything. You can bow down to a idol. Okay, these are all different types of worships. Now, what exactly is idolatry? Is not the same thing as worship. Idolatry is when you dwell on, because you're supposed to love God with all your heart, with all your soul, with all your mind, with all your strength. And love thy neighbor as thyself. Okay, love God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Idolatry is when you dwell on a lie rather than dwelling on the truth. Let me put it another way. If you meditate on fantasy rather than reality, you commit idolatry. Okay, now if you sit in front of your computer and play video games, you are dwelling on a fantasy. If you sit in front of your TV and watch Lord of the Rings on your DVD player, you're dwelling on a fantasy. If you're sitting down and reading your freaking Twilight books, you're dwelling on a fantasy. If you're watching Smallville on the networks, then you commit idolatry. Across the board, I mean, in every medium, in every genre, we are the idolater. We are idol capital of the world. We have idolatry coming out of every pore of our being. And the reason is because back in the day, we believed idolatry to be true. We believed the lie to be true. Nowadays, we don't call it idolatry because we know that the lie is a lie, but we still dwell on it. Just because we know a lie is a lie does not mean it's not idolatry anymore. Why are we dwelling on a lie? Why? It's a lie. We're supposed to dwell on the truth. We're supposed to dwell on things that are righteous and lovely and godly. To dwell on a lie is to commit idolatry. To dwell on the truth is to dwell on God. Okay? So, I'm going to bring this to you. To commit idolatry is to dwell on fiction of any type or form. If it is not in reality, it is not of God. Now, not only that, but there's, you have to avoid things that are violent. You have to avoid things that are hurtful. You have to avoid things that are mean or malicious or disgusting or unrighteous in any way. I mean, not just things that are fiction, but you can't go out and watch people murdering another person because that's just wrong, because thou shalt not murder, and you're not supposed to dwell on murder. So anyway, I'm bringing this to your attention because I think that people, because they don't believe the lie to be true, think it's not idolatry anymore. They think that, okay, we have transcended idolatry. Nobody's an idolater anymore because we don't believe these things. It doesn't matter if you believe it or not. If you dwell on it, you're committing idolatry, and I just want to put that forward because I think a lot of people are missing the boat on this. So I'm the Heretic. I hope this offends everybody. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace out. What the?